guys, today I'm going to be showing you the layer by layer method to solving the Pyraminx. So a Pyraminx is just a twisty puzzle that turns by layers, and it's just like a 3x3, it turns like a 3x3, but isn't solved like a 3x3. And it's just a triangle version of the most popular puzzle, one of the most popular puzzles on the planet, the Rubik's Cube. And it consists of these parts: centerpieces, which are here, edge pieces, which are these pieces, and tips, which are here. And it doesn't matter if I mix up edge or center, because I'll be pointing to them anyway. So the method I'm using right now, I know I'm jumping, but the method we're using right now doesn't require any algorithms. It just requires a basic knowing of notation and just common sense. So this is the LBL method, as I said before, of the Pyraminx, which is just the beginner method. Basically, most easy to understand, completely intuitive. Now what we need to learn next for Pyraminx is notation, which is just moves that can be written as letters or numbers or just any kind of punctuation that translate to moves on the cube. So basic notation is like this. A capital letter by itself, for example, U, is turning the up face clockwise. So if you turn the Pyraminx up top, an overview of U, and then you turn the Pyraminx, you turn and you use the U notation, you can see that it's turning clockwise. So for example, if I do R, which is the right side, you also, since it's a letter by itself, you also twist clockwise. So if you turn the Pyraminx to the right side and you use R, it will be turning clockwise. Also applies with L, so L moving clockwise. And yes, that's a basic notation, or just a basic understanding, non-overview of all moves. So now we move on to the next step for notation, which is very necessary, and it's, for example, a letter by itself, for example, U, and apostrophe at the end, which is pronounced as prime. So for example, U prime. And the U prime is, and the prime just means, or the apostrophe, it means just turn the layer that you were turning before, but counterclockwise. So like this. So L prime and R prime. The next notation you needed to know for the Pyraminx is B, but we wouldn't really be using that anyway at all. So I know Pyraminx notation seems much more simpler than a 3x3, but that's because it's very easy, and it doesn't require a lot of moves, and I recommend it over 2x2 and 3x3 in terms of being a beginner and familiarizing yourself with these kind of puzzles. Now we can commit and scramble the Pyraminx and just hopefully have fun. And yeah, we've committed, and now we have to commit to learning how to solve a Pyraminx. And don't forget to scramble the tips, the most annoying thing in competition. So now that we're done with scrambling, we can move on to actually solving. So first off, we need to do the tips. We need to correct the tips, which means matching the tip with the centerpiece below it, which looks like this. The piece directly below it is matched with the tip. So now we just do that with all tips, and now we're done. Now we can actually start solving, or learning how to solve. Depends on what you even want to do. Up, we need to make the toxic sign, or like a snowflake sign or anything like that. And it means just getting this kind of symbol, matching all centerpieces, and making them into like an inverted triangle form, and now just correcting the tips, which you've already done, and making this symbol, which looks really nice. It's like a snowflake. So it's just like this, and now we've made the symbol. That's all the pieces important. Next, what we need to do is create a layer, which is just making this all yellow with the blue on the bottom, and making that with all sides, like on the bottom layer. So what we need to do is now insert the pieces to their respective spots. Sorry for the stuttering, I'm not used to recording. So for example, this blue and red piece needs to go in here. So basically what we need to do is you need to match, don't care about the blue side, just make sure the piece is blue in it, okay? This two-sided piece here. And what we need to do now is match the side aside from blue, so the color aside from blue with the respective color on the bottom, which we can now see we have if you form the blue snowflake correctly. So red, red, yellow, yellow, and green, green. So now that we've oriented the piece and readied it for insertion, now we just do common sense and make this piece and insert it into the slot that's available to make one whole layer and correct half of the blue side. So it's R, U prime, R prime. Or just common sense, so just bring the half of the, or just part of the blue snowflake up, move the piece that you selected into like the slot of the snowflake and down. Also, it doesn't matter what color you choose, it's just the easiest to see for me, and it works well for beginners. So just do that for the rest of the edge pieces, not edge pieces, just the rest of the pieces that need to be inserted. And yeah, you're done with blue and you're onto one of the one of the last steps. I'm so sorry. So we may be running into this case quite a lot, no matter what you do. And it's just a flipped edge, and as you can see, you can flip the edge and it will be solved. The blue side and the F2L will be solved. Don't cheat and take apart the Pyraminx for this, okay? What you need to do is just remove this piece from a slot. So what we call these pieces are slots, or like any focus in the Pyraminx. So, for example, a piece needs to go somewhere. It's called a slot where it needs to be inserted in. So what you need to do for this case, it's very easy. All you need to do is just remove this piece from its slot, either make it go there and there without interrupting your progress. So you just do L prime, U prime, L, or you could do R, U, R prime, and it just removes it from the slot and your progress is fine, and just reinsert it any way you want. So sorry for the stuttering. So basically just insert all the last pieces. For example, green, match the green part of the piece with the green below, then just insert it casually into the blue side. This is not supposed to be solved. Just imagine we've completed this whole side, okay, this whole layer. So now we're done with blue. Oh, let me just scramble this. Now we're done with blue. So what it would look like is just a solved layer. Just a whole solved bottom side or blue side or any color that you chose. And the whole side, like, or layer above it, like all the pieces above it, are solved too. So now what we need to focus on, if you chose blue, go with red because it's the most easiest to spot. So what you need to do is make the red snowflake or any color that you chose snowflake, which you can just do it by twisting the top. It won't interrupt anything, and you'll end up with this. So what will happen here is you just put the red on the bottom, and wait, I forgot to advise, keep the blue side on the bottom always when you're solving. Yeah, keep the color that you're focusing on always on the bottom. If you don't, then it will be really confusing. So what you need to do here is just do the classical inserts. So for example, insert this red and yellow. It doesn't matter if you mess up the blue. So insert this red and yellow into here. Turn the cube or the triangle and move this piece, match it up with green, insert it, and boom! You're solved. Nice. You did it. Yay. Also, this is what we do for speed cubing. No, I refuse for it to be not that easy. When you solve red, you come across a case. It's not parity. Of course, it's not parity. Pyraminxes don't get parity. So you just come across with the case that the cube is not solved yet. So just keep on solving sides until you get lucky. I'm turning bad today. Yep. And just solve the blue and red or any two colors that you're focusing on. Just solve them until the Pyraminx gets solved, okay? It's not that hard. Don't give up. You can do this. Bye, guys. Wish you luck. Don't get infected by... Oh, you may be wondering, what Pyraminx should I get? What Pyraminx should I get depending on me and depending on my budget and commitment? What I choose is the Chi MS $9 Pyraminx, budget Pyraminx, and the budget line of theirs. It's very good for the Pyraminx at least, and I recommend buying from Speedcube Shop or Daily Puzzles or Cubicle. Yeah, just the major stores that everyone recommends, everyone chooses, and they ship fast, and they offer really good deals. Yes, so I described this as a snappy feel. It was my main until I got this Pyraminx. Anyways, I'm done with this cut. Anyway, the budget series line, as my grammar tells me to do, as my brain tells me, this is a very good Pyraminx. It's very snappy, and it was my main on the last competition that I went to until this Pyraminx breaks in. Which is, if you don't care about the price, then this is the choice to go with. If you think you're gonna get into speed cubing and you think you're gonna commit, budget if you don't want to commit yet, and if you don't care about the price and you just want to commit, or you have a good budget, unlike me. Anyway, you have a good budget and you're fine with spending money, then choose the X-Man Bell V2 or any other Pyraminx that any mass or great YouTuber, cubing YouTuber recommends. So I recommend the X-Man Bell V2. Has adjustable magnets, adjustable tensions, which means how loose the Pyraminx is and how easy it is to turn. It's just a very great cube, and it might come out of the box like kind of bad, but just break it in, it will become fine, like mine. I messed up. Anyways, bye guys. You solve a Pyraminx. I am weird today.